Charlemagne, we live. We are live, everyone. Happy Monday. What's today? President's Day? Is that the holiday? President's Day. Shout out to everybody who is checking in live on the live stream. As y'all coming in, tell me your name and location. Shout out to everybody who's watching this on replay. Hopefully we can get this in while we still got the sunset. The sun is setting right now in Miami. The sun is setting right now. So you see, that's how much sunlight, that's how much sun we got left. So we're going to try to get while we still got this sun. So as y'all come in, tell me your name and location, name and location, name and location. My name is Dre Baldwin, checking in from Work on Your Game University. My sunny Miami, Florida. Joey from Saskatchewan. What's going on, Saskatchewan? Chris Williams, 50-inch vertical holder, future 50-inch vertical holder from Wilmore, Kentucky. Shout out to all the dunkers out there. Shout out to everybody playing the game above the rim. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location, and give everybody like 60 seconds to get that in. Give me the hearts or whatever it is. What do you do here? Is it hearts? Yeah, the hearts, the waves, the thumbs up, whatever it is on the side here. We're going to get right into this. My name is Dre Baldwin. We got Matija checking in from Pula, Croatia. Shout out to Pula, Croatia. It's a beautiful town. My name is Dre Baldwin, hometown, Philadelphia, PA. Well, origin town, Philadelphia, PA. My home now is Miami, Florida. What I do now is I teach this philosophy called Work on Your Game. Chris from Vancouver, what up? This is taking a pro athlete's mindset and teaching how it applies to business, sports, and life. And that could be what you're doing at work every day. That's your mindset, the way you deal with other people. All of those things go into the pro athlete mindset. What I'm going to talk to you all today about. Oh, you're Chris too? All right, shout out to all the Chris's who are coming in. So now, what I'm going to talk to y'all about right now, and shout out to everyone watching this on replay, is how to put yourself on, how to get started, how to get your foot in the door, anything that you're doing, anywhere that you're at. You know, any industry you're trying to get your foot in the door, you don't know how to get in, you don't know how to get started, you don't know what to do, where to begin. How do I know? I don't know what's the first step I should take. I get people asking me this question all the time. So I'm gonna tell y'all how many steps we got. Four or 5 step process. 5 steps of how to do this. First thing you got to do when you're trying to get yourself on, go find somebody who's already on. Find a person who already has the position that you want or is already doing the thing that you want to do. They're already in the spot that you want to be in. And here's what you got to do. All right, you got to humble yourself and make them an offer to work for free in exchange for getting the knowledge and the information, the experience, and the observations that you currently do not have. All right, that's what you're going. Oh shit. There we go. That's what you're going to do. Ask them, can I work for you for free in order for you to educate me? All right, you're paying for your education through your work. So instead of, you go to school and you pay tuition and you got to write that check, or you got to do that bank transfer, or you got to swipe that card, and if that card don't go through or that check bounces, they call you, they kick you out the dorms, right? They kick you off campus if you don't pay. What you're going to do here, your real life apprenticeship, is you're going to work for someone in exchange for getting the knowledge. But here's the part that you need to understand. When you're working for someone in exchange for the knowledge, you're the apprentice, or they're mentoring you, or whatever you want to call it. Call whatever you want. You're the employee, mentee, apprenticeship, whatever you call it. Understand something. That person teaching now, there we go. All right, everybody back on. All right. So what that means is teaching you. That doesn't mean that they're just going to sit down with you every 2 days or every day after work or once a week or whatever you think it is. Just sit there with you and just answer all your questions or say, all right, here's lesson 1, here's lesson 2, here's lesson 73. That's not the way that it works. When you're doing a real life apprenticeship, you're really learning from somebody who's already on and already out there. Your job is to listen, watch, pay attention, be observant, be on point, and take notes. It is your job to notice all the things that you need to learn, pay attention, and pick up on everything. Like, you got to be peeping game, like we said. You got to be paying attention and listening and noticing the things that are going on, because it's your job to basically to mold and to create your own education as you go through this apprenticeship, this mentorship, when you're learning from other people. Monique, what's going on? So that's what you need to be doing here. And your first step, learning from that other person. Well, this is second. This is actually step number 2. Paying attention. If you're not paying attention, then you're going to miss things. If you're not watching, something's going to happen and you just didn't see it. If you're not listening, somebody's going to say something to you. You heard it, but you didn't really get the real meaning of it. You didn't really understand how that's going to be helpful for you moving forward. You got to be on point, paying attention all the time. If any of you ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, if you haven't read that book, I suggest you read it. Even if you're not trying to be necessarily rich, whatever you consider rich. And Robert Kiyosaki's main thing was really real estate. So even if you're not trying to go into real estate, understand you still need to read the book because the principles in the book still apply to anything that you're doing. Understand this. When Robert Kiyosaki got his job from his rich dad put him in a store and just had him working every day. And his rich dad never sat down with him, never talked to him, never said, hey, here's what you need to know, 1, 2, 3. It wasn't like that. His rich dad had him doing stuff. Eventually, Robert got pissed off, like, yo, you're not teaching me anything. I'm not learning anything. You're not paying me enough. I don't really like this job. And then Robert, this little kid, he went and complained to his rich dad. And his rich dad said, okay, now you learn the first lesson. The first lesson is when things aren't going your way, you need to speak up and fight back and do something about it. Don't just accept it and passively allow life to push you around and kick you around. That was the first lesson. But understand, the lesson wasn't, the rich dad didn't sit down and preach to him. The rich dad made him learn it through his real life. So I'm explaining that to you to tell you this. Your way of learning from the people, that the person you decide to learn from, it's your job to notice what the lesson is within the experience, because they're not going to sit down and spell it out for you. You see the way I'm spelling this shit out for you? They're not going to spell it out for you in real life. In real life, they don't spell out the lessons. In real life, you must decipher the lessons through your own experiences. Then you got to take time to think about it and ask yourself, damn, what should I have learned from this situation? I'm going through this thing. This is not working right now. I'm trying to sell this product. Ain't nobody buying it. I'm trying to get followers. Ain't nobody following me. I'm trying to, talk to these girls. Ain't nobody talking back to me. What do I need to learn from this situation? It is your job to figure out what you need to learn from every situation that you go through, especially when it's not going the way you want it to go. Yes, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, great book. That was actually the first book that really got me into entrepreneurship. So, and here's the other thing you need to understand. When you're apprenticing with someone, or they're your mentor, or you're just learning at their feet, as we say, they don't even have to know you. All right, you could apprentice with somebody and they don't even know who you are. All you got to do is subscribe to their show, follow them online, read all their books, sign up for their courses, come to their conferences, whatever they have going on. They got a live event, go to the live event. Whatever they're doing, you can just plug into everything they have going on. Because these days, the people who are experts and really know their stuff, they're doing this. Like, they out there just telling you about all the stuff that they knew every day. All you got to do is listen and pay attention, and then do something, implement the information that they're sharing. Right? So you got to be out there getting the information, right? Like, coaches need coaches. Mentor is the quickest way to get to any goal. So you got to, first of all, choose who you're going to be listening to. And then all you got to do is pay attention. But it's your job. Here's the part where the work comes in. Because you can sit here and listen to me all day, right? Trainer TG was good. You can sit here and listen to me all day. But what you need to do is take the things that I'm saying to you and ask yourself, all right, I heard what Dre said. Now, how does any of this apply to me? Like, how can I apply this to what I do? Because listen, I play ball, now I write books, and I do things like these live streams and videos and courses and speaking. Maybe you don't even do that. Maybe you are a contractor and you're trying to build houses. Maybe you are opening up your own restaurant and you're about to hire some staff. Maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you work at the zoo and you want to be the head zoologist at the zoo. You don't do anything like what I do, but you can still learn from me. But it's your job to ask yourself, from what Dre said, how can I take these principles and apply them into the world that I'm in? Now, if you want someone to help you do that for you or do it with you, that's when you hire a coach or you hire a consultant, and they'll help you actually do that. They'll do it with you so that you can figure it out, and they'll help you figure it out. But you can figure it out as well along the way. So you find out who those people are that you're going to be learning from, taking that information. That's step 2. Here's step 3. As you continue to learn from that person. So step 1 was find a person that you're going to be learning from. Work for them for free. Work for free means either you're actually working, they give you the knowledge, or you buy stuff from them, buy their books, buy their courses, etc. You're paying to learn from them. Instead of them giving it to you, you're paying to get the information. Second step is you're taking in everything that they're doing. Listening, watching, paying attention, being on point, peeping game. The third step is that this may take some time. All right, that's the third step. The third step is that this may take time. This is not a one-day thing. It's not, all right, Dre, I read your book. It took me 3 weeks. Now, how do I get in the game? How do I get started? No, you got to keep implementing everything that that person did. You got to go through a lot of the stuff that person might have had to go through. Maybe they shorten your learning curve a little bit, but you still got to go through stuff and get real life experience to have real knowledge, to have something real to offer the world. So understand this may take some time. That's the third step. The fourth step is, now that you're building up your knowledge and your information, you're starting to have the know-how that you need to have. Understand this. Now it's time for you to take the little bit that you know and actually go out on your own and start doing stuff. You got to go out on your own and start actually doing stuff. Yes, people taking the time is where people actually fall off, because they don't want to put the time in. They think this is they think they can microwave the success. You got to put the time in. Now here's where you start doing stuff on your own. You start implementing on your own. But understand that you don't have to necessarily break off and just leave the mentor or leave the apprenticeship, if you were actually working with somebody, you don't have to quit your job. You can keep working there and start working things on the side. But if it wasn't like that, let's say you had a virtual mentor, now you got to start implementing the things that you're learning while still learning from that person. Like, I got people that I learn from. I still read their books. I still take their courses. I still go to their events. I still watch them if they do a live stream. But at the same time that I'm listening to them, I'm still going to doing my thing. I'm still going to go implement. All right, they told me this. All right, I'm going to implement that tomorrow. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to listen to their podcast again the next day when they put a new episode out. So I'm still learning, but at the same time, I'm trying to start earning. Learning while you earn. That's what they call it. Learn while you earn, however they say it. So keep taking in the information from that person, but at the same time, you need to start implementing and seeing what actually works. All right, don't just sit on the sideline and be a lifelong student. All right, student is not a job. All right, student is not a career. Let's put it that way. It can be a job technically when you're a student, but it's not a career. It's not a career to be a student, ladies and gentlemen. Being a student is a means to an end. You become a student so you can learn, then you can get to the end of actually doing something and getting a result. Okay? So make sure you eventually start implementing what you're learning. And let me just help people out here, because some people say, well, Dre, how much information do I got to have before I get started? How long should I learn before I start doing it on my own? You only need 10%. 10% of the information on how to do something. When you feel like you got 10% of the information, you need to start doing it. You need to start implementing. And I guarantee you, if you only got 10% of the information, you start doing something, it ain't going to work. It's going to fail. You're going to mess up. You're going to be like, damn, this ain't make no sense. This didn't work at all. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what's supposed to happen. We call that experimental. No, we call that, I forgot what we call it. I forgot the word. But we call it experience knowledge. All right, that's the knowledge that you get from actually going through things. Experiential knowledge that you've been through an experience. You failed at it. It worked. It was halfway worked, halfway failed. Those are the experiences that you need to get. All right, you only get those by going through stuff. Activity knowledge is the phrase I was looking for. Get the activity knowledge by going through stuff. Implement. Get new information from your mentor. Go try it again. Now you got 12% of the information. Now you got 18%. Now you got 30%. Now you got 50%. Now you got 80%. You probably will never have 100% of the information because the information is always changing. All right, what you thought was the thing in basketball yesterday ain't the thing anymore because now it's something new. Now they changed the rules. Now this is a little bit different. Now people are doing this. So that you're never going to have 100%, but you're always going to be getting new information. That's why you got to always be learning in life. Being a student is not a career, but it is something that you will always be doing. Now here's the fifth step. So everybody follow me so far. Step one, find a person who you're going to mentor under, work for free, or pay them to get the information. That means like buying the books, buying the courses, going to the events. Step two, listen, watch, pay attention, take notes, assess what's happening, and figure out why it's happening. Step three, put the time in. This could take years. You could be mentoring or apprenticing under a person before you get to their level of expertise. It could be years before you know what they know. Step four, actually implement and start doing things on your own. And it's not going to go great at first, but you keep implementing and you'll keep learning and keep getting better over time. We call this trial and error or whatever you want to call it. You got to keep putting the work in. This could take years as well. All right, so you notice how these years are adding up. Step five, when you actually get good enough that you're producing a result and people can recognize you're producing results and recognize that you're actually good, now you start paying it forward. Now you're in a position where you have produced some results. Now you go help the people who are coming up under you, help them start getting results. Now you start showing them, okay, here's what I did. Now this is what you need to do. All right, here's how I got on. Here's what you need to do to get on. All right, here's what somebody did for me when I was coming up. I'm going to do it for you now that you're coming up. Now you start giving back to the people who are coming up under you. The people who are now where you were 2 years ago, now you start helping them out. And here's the thing that a lot of people need to understand, especially those of you who plan on stepping into being experts or stepping into any area of expertise or knowledge. Understand that you don't need to be like some big time guru making $100 million a year to start teaching what you know to other people. The people that you teach are the people who are where you used to be. So for example, like let's say you're trying to get to the NBA playing basketball, but right now you're playing in college. So you might think you're unqualified to teach basketball to anybody, but understand the players who are playing in high school, to them, you did it. You made it. You got to where they want to get to. So you're qualified to teach them. You might not be able to teach LeBron and James Harden what to do, but you can teach some high school kids what to do because you already made it to the level that they're trying to get to. So one of your target audiences, doesn't have to be all of it, but one of your target audiences is and will always be the people who are in the seat that you used to be sitting in 6 months ago or 2 years ago. So go find the people who are trying to get to where you're at right now, because where you're at right now is a level of achievement. Might not be the highest level, but you did something. Like starting out is right here. If you're here, all the people who are down here want to learn from you. And when you get here, all the people who are right here want to learn from you. When you're here, people who are right here want to learn from you. So you got all these people you can teach. You don't have to be the best in the world to teach. What qualifies you to teach is if you know something that can help another person and it'll be valuable to them, but you got to put yourself out there. You got to have the confidence to put yourself out there as a teacher, but also have the humility to, when you're done teaching, sit down and be a student and learn from somebody else who knows the game better than you. So those are the 5 steps. I'm going to take questions right after this. So anybody got a question, go ahead and post it in the comments. I'm going to take them right now. Let me tell you the 5 steps again. Step 1, find a person who's already on at the level that you want to be at or somewhere near it and offer to work for free, and or you just pay to get their knowledge. Again, buying their products and services, or if they got a business or something, some way you could be involved, go to that person and say, yo, I see what you're doing. I really want to learn from you. No, tell me what job you need done. I'll do that job for you. In exchange for that job, I just want to learn from you. I just want to learn what you're doing. I'll just pay attention and watch and just know what you got going on. You ain't got to pay me nothing. I just want to be around. I just want to be down. That's what you do, step 1. Step 2, pay attention to everything that they're doing. Notice what they're doing, why they're doing it. Ask questions when you get a chance to ask questions. But you really just got to be on point and pay attention, because that person probably doesn't have time to just sit down and just teach you. Like, school is over, ladies and gentlemen. School, when they tell you to sit down, shut up, and listen to everything that I say and write it down, nobody's ever going to do that for you again in life after school. From that, after you graduate from school, all the learning you get got to be on your own volition. You got to choose to learn, and you got to pick your education, and you get to choose who your teachers are. So when you was in school, you had teachers like, this teacher's not good, this teacher doesn't teach, this teacher's not good at explaining stuff. Well, guess what? After you get out of school, you get to choose your teacher. So any teacher who sucks, you ain't got to go to their class. You choose the class you want to go to. So that's step 2. Step 3, this is going to take time. You got to learn. You got to put your time in. How many years you go to school? Kindergarten, for what's that? 1st through 12th grades. What's that? 13 years, 4 years of college. That's 17 years. You spent 17, is that right? Yeah, 17 years. Those of y'all who went to college, 17 years of your life you went to college. Some of y'all read a book for 2 weeks talking about, oh, I don't know what to do. 2 weeks. You went to school for 17 years and don't know nothing. But then you read a book for 2 weeks, or you take a course for 8 weeks, and you like, well, I ain't got the information. I don't know what to do. You trying to ask somebody to give the money back. Like, what are you talking about? You went to a conference for 4 days, and you went to school for 17 years and couldn't teach shit that they teach you in school. But now you did a course for 3 weeks, and you like, I ain't got the information yet. What sense does that make? So understand that you got to put the time in to learn this information. Step 4, start implementing the things that you've learned. Things you learn, you only need 10% of the information to get started. You got 10% of the information, you should be doing something right now. Now, I guarantee when you start with your 10% of information, you will fail. It will not work. You will maybe feel stupid or look stupid, or somebody might laugh at you because what you put out is trash, but it's okay. You need to put out some trash in order to start putting out some gold. All right, you never put out trash, you ain't never going to put out gold. Put out the trash first so you can put the gold out. Then step 5, pay it forward. Once you start getting good enough in producing a result, and it could be a little result. All right, you made your first $100 on the internet, then look, there's somebody out there who's trying to make $1 on the internet. You think they can learn something from you? Of course they could. All right, you made 100, they trying to make 1. You are somebody to them. Now, you might not be shit to somebody who got $1 billion, but you got 100, and there's a bunch of people who got 0 who's trying to make their first $2. You're somebody to them. So start paying it forward, teaching those people. You can start at that level, and eventually you'll level up and get better. As you keep getting better, because you continue to implement, you'll learn more, you'll apply more, and you'll start to get more results. That's how you put yourself on anything that you do in life. So I'm going to go through and take these questions. Those of y'all who don't know, I should have put this at the beginning, but The Mirror of Motivation, that is the book that you can get for free. How do you pin the comment? There we go. So that's the pinned comment, mirrormotivation.com. That's where you can get my free book, The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. All you do is tell me where to ship the book, pay a small shipping and handling fee, because it costs money to print books. If y'all didn't know that, to actually print the book, that paper, that shit costs money. The envelopes, that costs money. The shipping, that costs money. Okay, so you're not paying the shipping charge just so I can make money, because if I wanted to make money, I'd charge you full price for the fucking book. All right, it's free plus shipping. You get the book for free. All you do is pay for the shipping, because the book does cost money to print, in case y'all didn't know that. So that's how you get the book, The Mere Motivation. I'm shipping that worldwide, anywhere you live. You are not paying for the book. I already paid for the book. All you gotta do is pay the shipping charge, and the book is yours. So let me see if we got any questions here. Shout out to everybody who's been watching this, and I know some people came in, left, whatever it was. Mattia, discipline first, absolutely. That's the number one principle of the work on your game philosophy is discipline. Monique said coaches need coaches. That's right. Mentor is the quickest way to get to any goal. That's what's up. Or it might be that motorcycle. That might be the quickest way. The mentor does not have to know you personally. Exactly. You can get mentoring from a person who's on the internet. Because nowadays, people who know their stuff, they doing what I'm doing. They on the internet basically telling you the whole game. All you got to do is listen. R. Ellis says, take the knowledge you need, leave the rest. That's right. Step 3 is to take some time. Yes, you got to put the time in. You got to put time in the game. Somebody asked, can they get a scholarship doing summer ball? Probably not. But I don't know. You might be the first one. Go find out. R. Ellis said, I only need 10%. Yes, you only need 10% of the information to get started. Now, you're not going to be great with 10%, but you'll get better because you keep learning as you go. The kid AD, what's going on? I appreciate the comment. Mattia says, teaching people online the best way to reach freedom. Well, that's a very loaded question. Depends on how you define the word freedom. Freedom is a mindset. Freedom is not about a dollar amount or a bank account or having a certain number of followers. Freedom is about the way that you think. And I believe it was Malcolm X who said, freedom is not something people are given. Freedom is something that people take, and people are as free as they choose to be. So hopefully that answers your question. It has nothing to do with the internet. Freedom is a mindset. Cash Chris says, what made you move to Miami? Well, this beautiful weather. I'll tell you right now, it's 77 degrees. It's going down to a low of 74 overnight. And tomorrow, it's going to be 81. It's going to be 81 again. It's going to be 81 again. Look, I'm not even lying. You think I'm lying, don't you? Look. 81, 81, 81, 82, 79. All right, so you want to know why I moved to Miami? Now, I just told you. 81. That's why. What is it, February? Yeah, it's cold in February, right? Harris said, you got the Mere Motivation. That's what's up. Now get work on your game. You got work on your game. Harris Biz 03. Get that. If you got that, then get the Bulletproof Bundle. That's all 4 books on mindset. If you got that, get the mental workbook. Cash Chris says, this is the difference between being assertive and being a dick. Listen to my podcast. I talked about that. Go to Work on Your Game University. That's workonyourgameu.com. Cash Chris. Workonyourgameu.com. Get access to all my master classes, where I did a whole master class on the difference between like being assertive and just being a jerk. I've cleared that up. R. Ellis said, you think everyone should take on mentoring roles at some point? Yes. If you have learned something, everyone who's achieved something. If you have achieved things and you got people who notice your achievements and start asking you questions, you're qualified to mentor. People are asking you for help on doing what you already did. That's mentoring. You ain't got to be official. You don't have to have a website or a title. But if you did something and people know and they ask you about it, that is mentoring in itself. I am Manner says, is it worth it getting a hair transplant? I don't know. I'm unqualified to answer that question. Harris says, you got it all. You got every book. You got 25 Dre Baldwin books on your bookshelf. Because if you don't, then you're missing something. If you ain't got them all, you got the Untold Stories. I don't know if you got the Untold Stories, so you can't buy that one. That one you can buy it, but you got to get Work on Your Game from workonyourgamebook.com. Then we offer you the Untold Stories on that page. But if you bought Work on Your Game on Amazon, you can't get the Untold Stories there. It's the only place we sell it. What's pinned is mirrormotivation.com. That's where you get my free book, The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. All right, so that's that. I might start doing these lives on a Facebook or on YouTube. We'll see, because Instagram just doesn't have a lot of, doesn't offer a lot of functionality. I can't even put a title or nothing, and then this goes away after 24 hours, which I don't like. I like y'all, but I don't like the way Instagram has it set up. So I might start doing these on Facebook or on YouTube, but we'll see. And I'll let y'all know. Just watch my story. I'll tell you where I'm going to be going live, if and when. So everybody have a great day. Thank you for the comments and your attention. Get that book, The Mere Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Is the link in my bio here on IG. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.